Good morning, YouTube. Well, I ran into a story I want to talk about today. I guess I should start off by telling you a little bit. This is what I'll do. There's this brother named Dawson Denise. I guess it's Dawson Denise. I don't know if that's his wife's name, the last name, or is his real name, whole name. Anyway, he gives you pretty reliable news reports about things going on in the gay community, and particularly about things going on in the church community. So I listen to it sometimes. So I ran across the story. He posted the story 3 days ago. So I don't know how old the story is. Maybe a couple months ago this happened in Florida. But it caught my attention, so I'm going to play a little bit of it. Mm-hmm.
Went ahead and told them exactly what happened, and that is that Larry Bostic, this 38-year-old man here on the right, along with his boyfriend, this gentleman here on the left, Mr. Derek Slade, 21 years old, wanted money to celebrate Mr. Larry Bostic's birthday. So his boyfriend Darius Slade here was working as a male prostitute in the Fort Lauderdale area, and they decided that the first person they came upon that night who had stopped to get Mr. Slade's services, they would kill and rob. And that man was Mr. Farius Finley. Now, as it went on, there was a third man who was involved who has not, they haven't captured this man. They don't have any details on him. They just know it was a third man involved. And I'm sure they're going to, have him in custody soon. But I just want to deal with this topic here, with these two gentlemen right here. It is a sad thing that happened to Mr. Farius Finley, and I don't want to sound like I'm not sympathetic or empathetic to his family and everything on this. And, it's a sad thing that this man was a contractor. He, an independent contractor. He worked in.
Okay, so the man had a life. He's going to go on. This commentator is his focus is the fact that the man was robbed by these two hustlers is what happened. So that's what's interesting to me. Not necessarily that the man he's on the DL. That's less interesting to me. He was a guy picked up a prostitute. And this could happen with the women as well. Anytime you expose yourself to that life, you're taking a chance on getting yourself hurt, messed up, and oftentimes robbed. Usually money is the motivation. So anyway, I guess this caught my interest because when I went downstairs to do my laundry today, there was this guy in my apartment building who I had met before. Actually, I met him on the street and I brought him into my apartment. As I told you, I haven't had sex in a long time, but that was kind of the intention. It was my last intention several years ago. But and he's looking worse than he was looking then. So he's a young guy. He's obviously got a drug problem. But I had brought him in here. Then he kept coming back. So I eventually had to tell him, you can't come here anymore, kind of thing. So anyway, nothing happened. Maybe something touching or something happened. But anyway, I found out very early I needed not to be getting down like that. I needed not to be bringing these people in my house. Getting old is... These guys, this emphasis was on the fact that the guy was down low, and when his wife would go out of town, he would pick up male prostitutes. As far as I know, male prostitutes could be male and female prostitutes. Apparently, he was bisexual. I think that most people who call themselves down low, which is this language that we're using currently, are basically bisexual people. Because if they're with a woman, they're out and having sex with a woman, that would make them bisexual. Even if they do tip out with men, they're still doing both. So they're able to do both. I don't think a truly straight person is going to be able to go out and pick up boys, nor do I think that a truly gay person is going to be able to go home with a woman every night and make love with her. Anyway, having said all that, my thing is about this aging thing. It gets different. As I said before, I'm 59 years old, right? So whatever I was going to do out there in the world, as they say, I should have already done. Because at some point, you just become a trick. If you are out here, particularly if you're liking people younger than yourself, and you are meeting people, these characters out on the street and so forth, you're really playing with your life. First of all, they don't want you. They don't. No 25-year-old, 28-year-old boy want no 60-year-old man. I just don't believe that. It's very rare you're going to find that. But they want something. That's why they're doing it. And usually, in order to do it, they're on some kind of dope. That's what it takes, you know. A lot of these guys, they're not even homosexuals, but they just go out and, you know, homosexuals give them money, so they'll do anything basically for a hit. And so you open yourself up to danger. I'm from the game. I used to, way back, I spent a season in prostitution. So I know that angle as well. But 15 years ago, I was a drug dealer and drug user, drug addict here in San Francisco. And I cannot tell you the stories that I would hear every single night because the money has to come from somewhere. It takes a lot to stay high on drugs. Now I got this thing. Lord, well, y'all, I don't know if I should turn it off or not. Like I said, I'm doing my laundry and now the buzzer going off. It's going to make me crazy. And I don't know how to stop and start. So I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm going to run. Move, Jimmy. Move, you bling dang. Move out the way, boy. Move out the way, you bling dangin' jack wagon. Okay. All right. Y'all see my shirt? It ain't nothing bad. It says the Negro. It's talking about the Negro League. So it's just a baseball shirt showing the first baseball players, the Negro League. Anyway, I don't know anything about sports. I just saw it. I thought it looked cute. So, where was I at? Oh, yeah. About this thing about picking up these boys. They don't want you. Okay. You know, there are times when we get lonely. I get lonely myself, you know, and there are times when people still look cute to me. You know, I'm still homosexual, so I'm still attracted to men, whatever. But what was I talking about? Okay, picking these guys up on the street. I cannot tell you when I was in the game about the stories that I would hear every single night about where the money was coming from. Now, I'm not proud of that. I ain't doing no bragging about nothing in that life. God took me out of it. I'm very grateful. But every night, the money has to come from somewhere, right? So usually it's some tricks. Now, young guys, attractive, who don't have a problem having sex, you can just have a fair trade. I think that's where the word trade comes from. You trading your money for their sex, kind of thing. But as they go on, right, as they get deeper and deeper into drugs and so forth, and they're not very attractive anymore. They're not bringing in a lot of money doing that. When they get a hold of somebody, anybody, the desperate ones I'm talking about, worst thing you want to do is pick up an ugly person to have sex with. Because they got to get everything they're going to get for that night. They got to get it from you. And the stories I would hear from these guys, it's just heartbreaking, really. I mean, I still had a heart when I was in life. I still cared about people. But they would rob people, terrorize them. There were stories about people being tied up in their house. They go through it and steal everything they got. Every night there were people bringing around laptops, leather jackets, all that. All that came from somebody. You didn't get it from no store at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. So you're setting yourself up. And it's not only with gay people. When I see it, I watch the stories. This guy here, Dawson, he said he likes some of these true life crime stories. I enjoy those too. I like the mystery and you know and what happened, like how they got caught and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, anytime first time I hear a stripper's involved, prostitutes involved, okay, he gonna get robbed. He gonna get terrorized. It's not gonna be a good thing. They're gonna get his identity, something, because you're exposing yourself to desperate people. People who are desperate, who don't want you. All you want to do, get in your house and get what they came to get and go. So I doubt that sex is very fulfilling with somebody who's just looking to get some money and get out of your presence as soon as possible. There's a lot of hurry up, you there yet? That kind of thing. So I just don't see it. So there are times when I get lonely. There are times when I see people out there who are trying to work it, whatever. No, No, if I'm going to live like a drug addict, then I'm going to get high too. He said, I want to feel good. You're exposing yourself to all the things you expose yourself to if you were in the life. So, anyways, it's a sad story. Obviously, these two people that murdered this man for enough money to have a party to them go party on. So why would you take a gun to turn a trick? I mean, I assume they charge something of the man. If he's going to pay him, wouldn't that be enough to have a party? How much does a person have in their pockets? So foolish. When I got out of the drug game, the person who tried to rob me, he grabbed my backpack and ran after he left me bleeding on the street. That bag had a camera in it, some gym clothes. I mean, nothing in there. You didn't get anything. So you expose yourself to desperate people. It's a dangerous thing. Sure, you get lonely. Sometimes you say, people say, well, get somebody your own age. Well, my friend used to always say that. I had this friend, Eddie. He passed away, but he was 70-something years old, right? And he would always get down on these guys liking these younger people. And I said, okay, Eddie, you was, I think he was 71 at the time. Okay. So I took him online. And I said, okay, let's pull up 71-year-old nudes. And I put it on in the thing. And we looked at all the pictures. It was sad, but I mean, it was true. Are you attracted to that? You want that? No, and you're quiet as kept. You take your clothes off, you probably find something very similar to that. So at some point, we have to just let it go. Let it go. That's over with. Cruising, getting trade, and all this kind of stuff. Let it go. At some point, you just become a trick. Nobody got no respect for no trick. A lot of these guys even hate you for what they're doing with you. You know, so that was a sad story, and I've heard it many, many times before. They don't always report those kind of stories. Cops and reporters a lot of times don't report stories, or they'll be in the back pages about encounters with prostitutes. They'll say, "Oh, this is a homosexual murder," or or this is a prostitute murder kind of thing. People get hurt out there. Anyway, I guess I could probably go on forever with this. I don't want to do that, but I want to say, be careful. Talking to people my own age. I mean, I guess that's anybody, but people my own age, those people do not want you. They're not attracted to you, no matter how sexy they talk and how lovely they act to you. They're only there to get what they can get. And after they know you've had your fill of them, this is the thing I knew so well. When they know they got all the money they going to get out of you, then they go to stealing. It's a fact. You trying to get them out of the house, it's time to steal something, because they know there's no more, nothing else coming from that. Particularly if they're ugly, unattractive, I'm sorry to say. They may not get picked up again for 3 or 4 more days, so everything got to come out of you. A lot of times, the ones some of them are violent, they'll turn on you. Some of them will steal your laptop. Anything could happen, and you could lose your life. So, just a heads up. Take care of yourself. It's a very common story, way too common. People are getting hurt messing with people on the street. You're messing with desperate people. Remember, you're not dealing with just regular guys. No matter how they act, they are drug addicts, and a lot of times they are homeless. They might fix up nice and look okay, but a lot of times they're desperate. So, be careful. All right, I just want to comment on that story. Talk to you guys later. What do you think about that? About this Comey thing? Trump is dirty, dirty, dirty. But see, he knows the language. I hope you can do this. I hope you can do. But he did that intentionally. He's been dealing with gangsters his whole life. Remember, Trump was a casino owner in Atlantic City. You can imagine. He's been around the block. He didn't know he stumbled into, I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. No, he worded his stuff just perfectly. So we know he's dirty, but they got to catch him.